Hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. And today on Latakian's Noor Kitchen, we're gonna make Syrian pies, which are called فطائر or Manakish. Yeah, that's right. I'm very happy to be sharing this traditional recipe, which a lot of people describe as Muhammara, cheese, and Za'atar pies. These pies may be the best delicious thing you're currently not eating. So I'm very excited to show you how to put this together. This is actually a Syrian invention, but extremely popular in Lebanon, as it is throughout the Middle East. And once you taste this, you'll finally understand why. So start by pouring over 2 cups of warm but not too hot milk in a big bowl, and then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar in addition to 1 package of dry active yeast. Alright, you can use warm water instead of the milk, but make sure it's warm to the touch, as you know if it's too hot it will kill the yeast. Now just give that a stir, and then to that we're gonna add some vegetable oil, about half a cup. Then we're gonna dump our flour, but first we need to sift them. Where I went ahead and used 4 to 5 cups nearly, it depends. So we're gonna dump our flour, but not all of it, like 75% of it. And why not all of it? Because I'm gonna explain it in a minute. Now we're gonna give that a mix with our famous wooden spoon, and it's gonna be way too sticky to form a dough. And that's good, because what we wanna do is just gradually add flour until it just pulls away from the sides. Now I can go ahead, get rid of the spoon, and introduce my hands to the dough. So I'm gonna start kneading that for nearly 5 minutes until it pulls together into a dough bowl where you have a very elastic and again soft, slightly sticky dough. Alright, that's perfect right there. I'm gonna brush that with olive oil and douse the dough too with a little bit of that olive oil, a good amount, and then we're gonna go ahead, cover that with a plastic wrap and put it in a warm spot for about 50 to 60 minutes until it doubles in size. And you will know because it will be twice as big. Alright, that's gonna take a while. So instead of just standing around watching it, although I have to admit that is entertaining, but instead of just watching, let's go ahead and save some time and prep our filling. I'm gonna start by Muhammara, so I have 6 small red onions, that's about 1 pound. Obviously we need to peel them, and then all you're gonna do is cut them in half, cut down like that, and then just slice across like that into basically a small slice. These onions are basically gonna break down pretty much completely, so I don't want you to worry about getting all these pieces equally sized. Unless you're crazy, then feel free. But anyway, we're gonna chop these up. Then we're gonna go ahead, put a pot on the stove set over medium heat, where I'm gonna drizzle a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We go ahead and dump in our onions along with about 1 teaspoon of salt, in addition to 1 teaspoon of cumin, and this is essential. You can add more if you like it, because cumin here is so important. Don't forget it and don't miss it. And this is 1 teaspoon of coriander, and to that we'll add 1 teaspoon of red pepper too, a pinch of black pepper, and then we go ahead and toss in 5 tablespoons of red pepper paste along with 1 teaspoon of tomato paste, and we're gonna cook this stirring until very soft and translucent. And you know, I had to give times. This could take 5 minutes, this could take 10 minutes, I've no idea. So instead of going by time, simply go by sight. I want you to cook this, stirring occasionally until they look like this, and then when the onions get to that point, we go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients, which include some sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds as well. Last but not least is a big splash of pomegranate molasses, nearly about 1 tablespoon, and we give that a stir, and at that point, yes, finally, we're done. We're gonna go ahead now and turn off the heat, transfer that into a bowl and set it aside until it cools down, where you can go ahead and put it in a fridge if you want to speed up the process. Our second filling is gonna be Za'atar, so in a small bowl I'm gonna put in nearly about 2 tablespoons of Za'atar along with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, mix it, and that's it. Our Za'atar filling is done. It's as simple as that. At that point we need to prepare our last filling, which is cheese blend one. So in a sieve I'm gonna add 1 part of white cheese, any kind you like, but make sure to squeeze it from its water first, since we need it to be low moisture. So crumble in 500 grams of cheese, and to that we're gonna add a bunch of chopped parsley, 1 whole egg, 1 teaspoon of sesame along with black seeds. And then what we do is give that a toss until it's well mixed. And we simply transfer it to a bowl until needed. And then we'll head back to check on our dough. And as you can see, it's finally inflated, but not for long, because what we do is deflate it. And then we'll transfer that onto a surface where there is no need to flour that surface, thanks to the dough having so much oil in it. So it's easy to work. When you want your dough to be easy to use, you have to put some oil in it. So it will not stick. Now cut that into 3 portions. I'm gonna take 1 portion and cover the rest. So for the first portion, we're gonna cut it into 6 pieces. We're simply gonna form these into small round shapes. And then once that's done, we're ready to roll our dough. So I'm gonna take 1 piece of dough. I'm using lightly floured surface here, very lightly. I'm gonna bat it flat, and then we're gonna roll that out to nearly 1/4 inch thick. And then once that's set, I'm gonna make this shape with my fingers on the edges as shown. You can leave it flat, no problem. It's all up to you here. And then we're gonna repeat that 6 more times. Now put that on a baking sheet. And also we're gonna make a wash for the top. In a small bowl, I added 1 teaspoon of sugar to 2 tablespoons of milk. Take a spoon, mix that good and proper, and then with a pastry brush, we're gonna brush the surface very gently and then add in our Za'atar filling. And at that point, they're gonna go into our preheated 215 degrees Celsius oven for about 10 minutes or until they get golden brown. Meanwhile, we're gonna prep our second portion of dough. So again, on a lightly floured surface, we're gonna roll out the dough to nearly 1/4 inch. Then we cut the dough with a cutter or a cup, all works here, to 7-8 pieces. And then we put them on a sheet pan and fill them with my favorite filling, which is Muhammara. Well, we'll brush the edges with our milk wash too. Last is an optional cashew cheese or mozzarella, and that's it. We're done. Pop it in the oven too until it's golden brown and the cheese melts. And for our last portion, we're gonna cut it into small 10 balls nearly. 9 or 10, and roll them into an oval shape, and then pile up the cheese into a row. And once that's set, we need to seal the ends, which you can do by folding and pressing and twisting, or a combination of all the above, just as long as somehow, some way, they get sealed. And if it feels like somehow you have a ton of excess dough on the end, you can pinch off a little bit. And by the way, don't obsess about getting these absolutely symmetrical. Okay, as you'll see, once these came out of the oven, they're gonna look amazing. And then once we finish these, we're gonna take out the Muhammara pies and put this tray in its place in the oven. But before doing that, we'll brush it too with our milk wash, and now it's ready for the oven. Our Muhammara is done now. That looks just about perfect. So let's take it out and pop our cheese pies for 10 minutes or until they look like these. And this is, my friends, it's just insanely delicious. Okay, for a cheese and Muhammara fanatic like me, it does not get any better than this. It's really a proven crowd pleaser. You could use this exact same technique with different fillings and different cheeses and different garnishes. And yes, you could also do the sweet versions. So this is really something you can have a lot of fun with. But whether you experiment or not, or make it exactly as shown, I really do hope you give this a try soon. Thanks for watching, and if you liked my video and find it helpful, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow and share so you can help me get more people to reach Latakian's Noor Kitchen. See you later!